What's up, guys? Joe at Momentum Worx. Today we're going to talk about some of the most hated engines in truck history, the Maxxforce line. Stay tuned. So if you're watching this video, you probably have a Maxxforce engine, or you're thinking about buying a Maxxforce engine, or you need a turbo for a Maxxforce. So we're going to jump right into it. Before we get too deep into Maxxforce though, you get the Maxxforce 7, Maxxforce 9, Maxxforce 10, 11, 13, and 15. And there was different variations throughout there. Let's touch a little bit on where the Maxxforce engines came from. So way back in the 70s, you had the DT466. And that was before it was Navistar's International Harvester. Everybody loved the DT466. It's called a 466 because it was 466 cubic inches. So they started making them in the 70s. Somewhere around 93, they go from the mechanical injection to the HUE injector. They run from 93 to around early 2000s where they get the G2 injector. And all along this time, it's still the DT466. It's the same block, just different injection. And then around 2005-ish, we start into the Maxxforce line, and that's where we see the introduction of the Maxxforce name, and that's when they started playing with different turbos. First, you got the single turbo, and then you got the compound turbos as Maxxforce went on. But I mean, the DT466, I mean, that's like one of the engines. Everyone loved the DT466. Real workhorse of the medium duty, truck force. And then when it went Maxxforce and it became Navistar and the EPA kind of started, buckling down on these guys, everything really just went to shit. And like I said, that's when we got the Maxxforce 7, 9, 11, 13, and 15. The Maxxforce 7, of course, was the V8, 6.4 liter. You saw a lot of that in the school buses and things like that. And then there was the Maxxforce DT, which was a 7.6 liter like the DT466. And that also came in a lot of school buses and medium duty applications. The Maxxforce 9, which was a 9.3 liter inline 6 with a little bit bigger displacement, different injectors, different EGR cooler. And then later you got the Maxxforce 11s and 13s. The 11, I think, was I'm going to cheat here, look at my paper. It was a 10.5 liter, and the Maxxforce 13 was a 12.4. And the Maxxforce 15 was a 15.2. The 11, 13, and 15 then came out later, around 2010. That's when we saw the introduction of the compound turbos. And basically by like the early 2010s, I'm sure you're aware, Navistar was in huge class action lawsuits because the engines were just junk. But let's talk about the turbo side of it. So that's really where the Maxxforce line came from. And how the DT466 saw its demise. So just a quick walk down memory lane to get you familiar with Navistar and the DT line. Let's talk more specifically about these turbos, because if you clicked on this video, you probably have a Maxxforce engine with a bad turbo, and you want to figure out what you got and how you can get a replacement.
So this is the first Maxxforce turbo we're going to take a look at. This would have came on your Maxxforce DTs, your Maxxforce 9s, your Maxxforce 10s. This is a single turbo, obviously. It's not a compound like the later Maxxforce engines. This one right here is S300 V129. There was S300 V129, 110, 111. They were all S300s with this electronic actuator on them from Borg-Warner. And the different displacements got different size compressor wheels and different exhaust housings. I think they were everything from like low 70s to like 76 millimeter wheels. You can get them in titanium or billet depending on the application. Pretty much a standard, S300 turbo, except for the fact that it has an electronic actuator on it. And that electronic actuator is doing a variable geometry housing. I'm not sure what Borg-Warner calls their variable geometry housings. I know, Garrett calls it VNT, variable nozzle, and Cummins calls it VGT, variable geometry. I forget what Borg calls theirs, but it's all the same thing. It basically varies the housing. When the actuator closes up tight, it makes the housing act like a small turbo, and when the housing opens up, it acts like a big turbo. This actuator will open and close the vane positions in the turbine housing to vary the AR. So basically when you're taking off from a light, it would be in the closed position, and as you accelerate, it would open up more and more to allow more exhaust gas to spool the wheel to then, of course, make boost. One of the easiest ways to tell a newer Maxxforce from an older Maxxforce is, of course, to look at the turbos. What you'll see here is a compound setup, a low pressure on the right and a high pressure on the left, versus what we looked at before are The older Maxxforces were all single turbo setups. They were variable geometry. The newer Maxxforces were all compound turbos, single geometry, but they would call them dual stage turbos because they had a high and a low pressure. One of the main reasons they went this way is because of emissions. International Navistar was trying to meet emissions requirements, so they were doing all kinds of crazy changes. And unfortunately, this is where things got really unreliable for Maxxforce engines, and this is where everything started to go awry. What we have here are aftermarket versions of the Borg-Warner Turbo. If you're aware with these, anything right now has gotten hard to get. These Borg-Warner Turbos were hard to get before the pandemic happened, and my camera's going crazy here. Sorry, guys. These were hard to get a hold of before the pandemic, and then once COVID happened, it was virtually impossible to get these from Borg-Warner. So these are really good aftermarket versions, fit and function just like the OEM turbos here. And like I said, these are for the later Maxxforce engines, Maxxforce 7, 9, 10, 13, 15, anything that had compounds on it. I'm not sure if the 9 or 10s had compounds, but I know the 13s, 15s, and 7s were all compounds of different sizes. So if you wanted these, you really do need your part number because of the fact that there's varying different sizes depending on what the displacement and original horsepower rating was on that specific Maxxforce engine. And one more option for you guys that have to have the genuine stuff, these are genuine Borg-Warner cartridges. Borg-Warner was the original manufacturer of these Maxxforce compound turbos for International and Navistar. What we have here are genuine Borg cartridges, and I wouldn't say they're readily available, but we do get them pretty frequently. We have them available. You can see that they have the genuine Borg-Warner tags on them. And basically, this is a full rotating assembly. You would just carry over your old exhaust housing and compressor cover. And you can see it's real easy. It's just these V-band clamps here. You undo these and you would put these covers onto your cartridge. You take your old covers and housing, put them onto your cartridges, and then you'd have full new turbos. Granted, these ones come off a little easier because they're brand new. Ones that have been on the truck for a while, they're gonna be a little rusty. You're gonna have to take a hammer to the housing and beat them off, but it can be done. And then this way you would have basically still genuine Borg-Warner. These cartridges, like I said, we would need your part number to make sure that we're matching up the correct ones for your turbos and application.
So guys, I hope this was an informative little history lesson on Maxxforce, where it came from, some little bit about DT466. If you need any of these turbos, of course, we do stock them. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call. We carry all these turbos. We stock them. Like I said, we have the aftermarkets in stock. The old single turbo Maxxforce, we have them in stock with actuator. Like I said, they come in different horsepower levels depending on what the truck's originally spec'd for, what the displacement was. Same for the compound turbos and the cartridges. Right now we got the Borg-Warner cartridges in stock. We have the aftermarkets in stock, and we have complete turbos in stock for the single turbos. If you have any questions, like I said, please give us a call. Leave them in the comments below. I really appreciate you guys watching. Till next time, see ya.